just the way it's got to be. I mean, we could all meet in the studio, but then we got to go buy video equipment, and then everybody's got to drive, and with the price of gas. Oh, hi, everybody. Welcome to Radio Labyrinth. Kvetching, as they say in the Kvetching community. I don't know what that means, but this is Radio Labyrinth, and this is Season 7, Episode 18, which means, I don't know, it just means it's our 18th episode. So apparently it's either the 18th or 19th week of the year, which means this Sunday, the day after this show drops officially, is Mother's Day. And we'll talk about that in a second because we have a special show planned for you. But it is Wednesday, May 4th. And that means, of course, May the 4th be with you. Social media holiday that was created, I don't know when, but it is clever and everything, but I get a little tired of it, which is why today I posted a picture of Lauren Green, Dirk Benedict, and what's his face from Battlestar Galactica, because
Dave, I don't watch Star Trek.
Exactly. I used to try to find that picture of like one of the Jedi that somebody photoshopped Leonard Nimoy's face on. But in honor of Star Wars, here's a picture of Admiral Akbar that you can see.
Oh my.
George Lucas. Oh, cultural weirdness. But May the 4th be with you. I saw a new trailer for the Obi-Wan series, which is coming out on Disney Plus at the end of the month, May 27th. And that looks really, really good. I cannot wait to watch that. As far as Disney Plus goes, I'm behind on Moon Knight, but that is a good show, and I highly recommend it if you're into that kind of thing. I saw a bunch of the usual people bitching about something that happened at the end. Apparently, there's a female. It should have been a male. Whatever.
It was good. I enjoyed it. I just finished it.
I haven't watched the last one yet.
It's good.
Yeah, Nacho dies.
Oh, that was very upsetting.
It was very upsetting. I spoiled it for Jeff. That never happens. I assumed that he had watched the show the minute that it came out. So I said, why'd you kill Nacho? Fuck you. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, how does it feel, Jeff? How does it feel? Let it wash over you.
I didn't care.
Yeah,
Well,
fuck Nacho. Oh, by the way, if you don't know what we're talking about, good, because that's a spoiler and you might not be there yet. Damn.
that was upsetting, though.
It was upsetting. I really grew to like that character a lot. And of course, we should have assumed that he wasn't going to be here. Of course, we're talking about Better Call Saul. And we'll just leave it at that because we have a fun show tonight where we're going to be talking about the 10 worst moms in pop culture history. Now, the way we put it together, they're not in any kind of countdown order or this one's worse than the next. They're just 10 terrible fucking moms from television and film. By the way, I'm going to try to swear less, so I got to stop saying the F word.
This is for Mother's Day, by the way. You didn't preface it.
Oh, yeah.
Watch your fucking mouth for Mother's Day.
For Mother's Day. But I have to, because now that I'm doing that radio show, I want to be able to plug and direct people here as well. And I do say in a little disclaimer that it's not safe for children, but it is safe for childish adults.
I blame your radio show for the river taking over the #1 spot.
How do you know that? Would you follow the trends?
Yeah, Rodney Ho posted it.
Oh, well, it's nice of you to plug Rodney Ho. Rodney Ho is the media reporter for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, and you can read his column online and follow him on Twitter. He's a nice guy. But he does do a lot of reporting. I don't know how the River got #1, but it's the same company, so congratulations to the River. Home of English Nick.
And no one ever accused you of not being a company man.
No, plenty of people.
Tim's show started, so the ratings for WSB went in the toilet.
Yeah. They listened to the first one. They might be suspect, but the last one I felt pretty good about. Anyway, so in honor of Mother's Day, I would like to wish a very happy Mother's Day to my wife, who will be celebrating her very first Mother's Day. And I'm sure Gil will be getting her a very nice gift.
Gil getting her
a coffee mug from a truck stop that says "World's Greatest Mom."
Nice.
No, I'm not going to reveal it yet, but yeah, I think we're going to go have a picnic on Mother's Day. It'll be nice. It'll be her first. And if I
that will be nice. You don't want to take her to like you got to take her to goat yoga.
We're not doing anything like that. Goat yoga with a fucking smack the kid. No, not going to goat yoga. I do like goats though, baby goats. We went to a petting zoo a number of years ago for a celebration of some bar or a beer or whatever. We used to go to all these free things, and they had a petting zoo. So it was just a bunch of drunk adults with a bunch of baby goats running around.
Oh, you gotta take Gil to Goats on the Roof.
Goats on the Roof. Where's that?
It's on your way to the Dillard house
Where's the Dillard house?
in North Georgia.
Oh, what are the goats just live in this house and they all stay on the roof?
They're on the roof. They're up on a roof, just kicking it. Oh, you gotta take them goats on the roof. It's the shit.
What kind of goats?
All goats. They're all on the roof. They're running around. You're feeding them, and then you go to Dillard house and you have yourself a fantastic family style meal of home cooking. And they have horses. You can go horseback riding. They have a little motel where you could get murdered in.
Do the horses have big penises like on So I Think You Should?
No, they all have small penises, so you won't feel bad about yourself.
I'm not having any fun.
Now, where I grew up, there was the Appalachian Museum. It was in our town, and it's still there. And it's kind of like a walk back into the past. They have original cabins and set up there, and but they have goats as well.
You have to bring your own goats.
Yeah, well, these goats they provide. The cool part about these goats is they're fainting goats, and what's really cool is if you are standing there and all of a sudden noise happens, like you clap your hands or you scream at them, they just stop and drop.
Oh.
And it's the funnest thing in the world.
I've seen those on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, we
What
grew
kind of
up
affliction is that makes the goats faint?
I guess it's a defense mechanism.
No, where they say so they don't feel when they get eaten.
Yeah, they just I'm just gonna play. Oh well, that's it.
They're having like a, what do they call it, vasovagal, like a person, or they just drop out.
Vasovagal nerve. The vasovagal nerve. It's right next to your ileocecal valve.
Call me a bad mother. I'll show you a bad mother. Get out, damn it, get out.
I thought my mother was bad.
Got me, Gooby. I'm a bad mother.
Think I'm a bad mother?
My mother was my father, and my wet nurse was my mother.
All right, so let's get right down to it. It's the top 10 worst moms in pop culture history, but we're not doing a countdown, so it's just 10 of the worst moms in pop culture history. And on a first for us, we're going to try to play audio clips during this, and hopefully they don't sound terrible. The first mom, in honor of its final episodes dropping on Netflix and it's saying goodbye, we are going to say that Wendy Bird from Ozark is probably one of the worst mothers ever in television history. She's played, of course, by Laura Linney. And I have a clip here from season 4, episode 6, Sangre Sombre a Todo.
I knew you couldn't resist my cutlet. It was you, wasn't it?
Now, you guys all watch this show, right? I haven't watched it since season.
I finished it.
All right.
Yeah, I finished it also.
So explain the premise of this clip. She put something on her son's computer to make it look like to fuck him up and get him arrested or something. You guys remember?
Yeah, because he's laundering money for a rival.
Out on his own.
Oh,
So he's laundering money for somebody else.
okay.
Which, one thing, he shouldn't be laundering money anyway because he's just a kid.
Mhm.
But then he's laundering money for their rival. So she puts some shit on his computer to where whenever he goes to transfer some funds in a offshore account, that it'll get flagged.
Okay. All right. I'll continue playing it. Thank you.
What are you talking about? You planted the red flag on my account.
Oh, there. Thank
Jonah,
you.
this is an important lesson. I could have gone to jail.
He's upset because he could have gone to jail.
Jesus Christ, Wendy.
You don't give a shit what happens to me. All I think about is what happens to you. If you need help, Dad already fixed it.
It's crazy.
Wendy's a bitch and she's a piece of shit. And I hate how the show ended. It ended very fucked up. Garbage.
You probably don't want to spoil that yet because people are still watching it, but it's been up for what, 2 weeks now or a week?
A week.
About a week. Yeah.
A week.
And most people probably binged it. How many final episodes are there?
There was 6, I think.
Yeah.
6 episodes. Okay.
Did you like how it ended, Jeff?
Yeah, I didn't care. It was all right.
It had really petered out for me anyway. By that, I just kind of finished it just because I've been watching it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
But it had lost its gusto quite a while ago.
It's amazing to me the show ran. Is this the 6th season or the 4th?
This was the 4th season.
Okay,
yeah, they just split it in 2, so
okay.
It seemed like 5.
Damn. Well, it was quite successful, and it certainly put Lake Allatoona on the map, even though it's supposed to be the Ozarks, right? But they shot everything around Lake Allatoona in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got also in Conyers here. Actually, the exit before Atlanta Pizza and Gyro. There's a little hotel, and that's the hotel that they stayed in.
Oh, cool.
Lazio
Motel.
Yeah, it's literally like right next to a Dairy Queen, like right there in Conyers.
Plenty of ice cream then. Good. But the second really bad mother from television history, of course, to me, this is the number one, the possibly the worst fictional mother of all time, based on David Chase's real mother, although I don't believe she ever tried to kill him. I'm talking about Livia Soprano, who was on the first 2 seasons of The Sopranos before the actress Nancy Marchand passed away in between seasons. And then when season 3 started, they had to use a digitally created, it was real early CGI. And if you go back and watch it, it's terrible. But they had to clip scenes and audio from previous seasons to make it look like she and Tony were arguing. And then she died. So this is from, this comes from season 1, though. It is episode 11, Nobody Knows Anything. She's telling Uncle Junior, who at the time has just been made the capo of the family, not the capo, the Don of the Sopranos, whatever the family is there. I think it was the DeMeo family or something like that, but doesn't matter. This scene takes place at Green Grove, the home where Tony had put her, the really nice, expensive home, and then all the mob bosses started putting their mothers in there as well.
I should have known something was strange when suddenly Larry Boy's mother's moved in here, and then Jimmy Altieri's mother.
3 of my capos have their mothers in this place?
Instead of living in normal homes with their sons, like human beings.
This must be some kind of fucking end move.
And I love this scene because really what she's doing is ratting out her son because she's pissed at him that A, he's selling her house, and B, he put her in this place. So she goes to the one person that she knows she can manipulate because Uncle June isn't very smart. But she doesn't really. We'll talk about it at the end of the clip, but I want to know what you guys think. Did she know that she was setting up her son to get killed or not?
What do they think? I'm stupid? We'll see.
Now, wait a minute. I don't like that kind of talk.
I don't like it.
Now, just stop it. It upsets me. Or I won't tell you anything anymore.
See right there. I don't know if she's being manipulative or if she knows that he's going to act.
If this is true, Livia, you know what I mean, I'm the boss, for Christ's sake. If I don't act, blood or no, I have to.
He has to. So what do you guys think? Do you think that she was setting him up?
I don't know if she was setting him up to be killed, but
yeah, I think she was just striking out. Yeah,
take her out of that place and bring her back home.
I think it was the genius of the character is you never know with her.
Right.
You never know if it was manipulative or she really, like she didn't mean it.
Yeah. That's kind of why I think she backed off a little bit, but she did want Tony to get stung at least. But of course, we all know what happened. They found out where he was going to see a psychiatrist, and they sent a couple of guys to go shoot Tony. And of course, Tony killed them both. And then everybody had to make nice, and the FBI played the tapes. And this conversation that we just played here in the clip is on a tape, and that's when Tony finds out and tries to smother her with a pillow, which is pretty fun. Number 3 in our list here is Joan Crawford, who there was a bio picture made of Joan Crawford's sort of her life based on her adopted daughter. And it's never been proven that Joan Crawford was an abusive and manipulative mother. It's just alleged, and this movie kind of put it into not only film canon but also pop culture canon that she was just a horrible person. Faye Dunaway delivered an amazing performance in this movie, and here she is exploding on her daughter because why? Wire hangers.
No wire hangers! What's wire hangers doing in this closet when I told you no wire hangers ever?
So she's a little upset because these dresses are too dainty for wire hangers. I never understood why she got so pissed that she was. What other options were there in the whatever that was, the 40s or 50s?
Wooden hangers.
Wooden?
Well, in satin, they had satin hangers.
Yeah,
satin hangers.
Mm-hmm.
So it was wood wrapped in satin or something.
Yeah, they still make them.
What's wrong with the
left on wire hangers for a long period of time? If you go to put the dress back on, it's going to have the
indentures.
It'll permanently stretch it. Yeah, or it can rust. They used to what they made the wire hangers out of. If there was humidity there, it could rust and leave a rust line. Yeah. Now I was curious once when I saw this and asked my grandmother why.
Yeah,
that's what she said.
Well, damn, she deserved to be had the shit beat out of her.
And then Dustin's grandma made a pimp stick out of a wire hanger and beat him with it.
Well, she beat me and made me wear the dress. But besides,
that's what they call Tennessee justice.
Yep.
The most disturbing scene in the movie for me is when she tells her son to get the axe, and she goes and chops down the trees in the yard. Do you remember that scene?
Oh yeah.
Loses her fucking mind. But again, now that movie came out, I guess, 80 or 81. I just said when it came out. But my mom. I was, whenever she get mad at me, I go, don't worry, I don't have any wire hangers in my room.
I think it's funny is how Mommy Dearest has become such a gay icon.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
She's been, oh yeah, in drag culture and things like that, because she's so dramatic and over the top. The performance was that it's become like one of those things. Like they have like watch parties and shit for it.
And probably Joan Crawford overall then, because she was a fierce looking woman.
She was, but it's this particular performance of Faye Dunaway, just because it is so over the top,
Yeah. And she was kind of a demure actress, so anyway, it's just always going to ring through pop culture. As long as people are still alive from that time, they're going to remember that movie. Here's one from 1976. This is Margaret White, portrayed by Piper Laurie. She played Carrie's mother in the movie Carrie. Of course, Carrie played by Sissy Spacek. And this classic scene has been in pop culture for years. In fact, whenever I hear it, I think of Adam Sandler.
He's gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you. It's not too late. You want to stay here with me? I don't want to stay with you, Mommy. Look, I'll answer the door and I'll tell him that you're sick. I'll tell him that you changed your mind. Sit down and be quiet.
Sit down and be quiet, Mom. We all wish we had the power to make our nagging, bitchy mom shut the fuck up and sit down and be quiet. It would be great.
Oh,
yeah, they're all going to laugh at you.
They're all going to laugh at you.
Carrie is going to the prom with William Catt. I forget the name of his character, but she's getting ready to go to the prom. Her mother's upset that her dirty billows are showing. They're called breasts, Mama. Everybody has them. And what a performance. Piper Laurie, nominated 3 times for an Academy Award for that role. Also for Children of a Lesser God and The Hustler with Paul Newman, which is a really good movie. She was young, of course, in that, but The Hustler is a great film. And it ended up having a sequel much, much later called The Color of Money, if you weren't aware of that, with Tom Cruise.
It's in the way that you use it.
She's an amazing actress. She was also on Twin Peaks, but not Twin Peaks The Return for some reason. All right, moving away from crazy, insane mothers, we move on to mothers who hate their children but are funny. And, of course, I'm talking about Lucille Bluth, and this is a kind of a scoped clip.
Claiming she could take it no more, the young mother released the emergency brake, allowing her car to roll backwards into the nearby lake.
Good for her.
That was a flashback to some story, because I actually had a news person with a wig on from whatever network that was, but she was great. What a fantastic actress she was, and how you go back and you watch that show, you really appreciate her more and more, I think, because everybody's funny in it, but I think she's the best character.
Doesn't she
overall?
Doesn't she double up on Archer as well?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, same character.
Yeah. I play favorites. You're wrong. I love all my children equally. I don't care for Joe.
So Joe. Yeah, she was Mallory Archer, and of course, she did pass away on March 24th of 2021. And going back to Piper Laurie, she's 90 years old, still alive.
Damn.
The next one, this is a movie that I saw right after it came out, and it's called Spanking the Monkey, David O. Russell movie, an early David O. Russell film. So you know that it's bizarre.
How is this to make the worst moms? This is the best mom.
She was the tits.
Ew, Jeff, ew.
Yeah, I
guess in movies, not if it was my mom.
No, nobody wants their real mom in this situation. But this is.
But he can bang his mom.
Yeah. This is actress Alberta Watson, who passed away in 2015. But she was in a bunch of movies, Canadian, and the character's name is Susan Ibelli. And of course, it is from the movie Spanking the Monkey. Her son Raymond was charged with taking care of her because she had broken her leg and she couldn't get around. So he had to waste his summer staying with his mother while her husband, his dad, was gallivanting around the country, basically doing stupid shit. And he's trying to have sex with this little high school girl. Blah 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 blah. And long story short, they bang.
All I ask is that you take care of your mother. Is that so hard?
Taking good care of your mother, Raymond.
Raymond, please.
Hamburgers are ready. Come on, before they get cold. Can I do anything around here?
Now, aside from the fact that they bang, which to Jeff is extremely hot, it is overall. And David O. Russell's a good director. We have a couple of more here in no particular order. One of my favorite TV moms of all time is another mom who doesn't really seem to care about her kids or her husband, but indirectly they all care about each other. But it was one of the first shows of the modern era. It was an original Fox sitcom, and it was one of the first shows to just deconstruct the whole family unit and give us what we have now, apparently, but often imitated. I'm talking about Married with Children and the great Peggy Bundy, as portrayed by Katie Segal. So here is a clip of her and all of her wonderful mothering.
Mom, are you going to make any breakfast today?
Nah, I'm not hungry.
See right there, perfect joke. The really good writing on this show.
Daddy's gonna be in a mood. Just tell him I went shopping.
Could you get us some milk?
See, just.
I always liked whenever they were going to go on vacation, and then while they were upstairs packing, they would leave.
Just leave the kids there.
And the kids would come out with their suitcases, and they were already gone.
And I can't wait until we have kids. Giving birth to a child must be one of the most beautiful experiences in God's universe.
I wouldn't know. I was unconscious for a week. You got your room deodorizers?
Yes, Mom.
Toilet seat covers?
Yes, Mom.
Flea and tick spray?
They're going to their grandma's house and they hate their grandma.
21 mil, and it's all gonna be mine.
You mean ours, don't you, Mom?
We didn't get Fox when the show was on. We didn't get Fox in Mansfield, where Jeff and I lived for quite a while. So one summer I stayed at my dad's and I recorded it every night. It was on repeat on the New York City Fox affiliate. What a funny show. Those early seasons were great. I liked it all. But I wouldn't know where to watch it now. Do you guys know? Is it on anywhere?
Yeah, it's streamed somewhere. I can't remember where. Maybe Hulu?
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe it.
Yeah, it's somewhere where you can watch them all.
It's kind of, to me, like just a real dysfunctional All in the Family.
It was so slapstick and surreal. It's some,
Do you remember they made fun of it on The Simpsons?
Oh, yeah. I think because they were sisters. They were on Fox as well. So it was like anytime they could make fun of anybody on the network, they would.
He's on the couch. He goes, "Shut up, Peg." And he reaches over and the toilet's on the couch with him and he flushes it. Married with Children ran 10 years, 1987 to 1997. Getting down, we have 3 more left. Another soprano woman, this time the daughter of Livia Soprano and the sister of Tony Soprano, Janice Soprano, as portrayed by Aida Turturro. In this clip, Tony's pissed off because she told their other sister that she's not coming for Livia's funeral, and Tony kind of blows a gasket, of course.
You know, they got special rates for family debt.
Yeah, half a full fare coach, which at this late date comes to $1,100.
Fully researched and everything, huh? All right, fuck it, I'll pay it.
Can I bring my fiance?
Fuck that. One seat.
Her fiance, by the way, is a 19-year-old that works at whatever restaurant she's working at. Remember that scene? He's just sitting there.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't show up, let me tell you right now, don't come breezing in here when it comes time to carve up the estate. I know you think Mom's got money buried in the house.
What are you telling people about that other thing?
Richie, he vanished into the witness protection program. It's the truth. Right, Janice? Go to Relly's funeral home. Go to Mara. Does Harper know his grandmother died? Him I'll pay for. Bring him down from Montreal. He is your son.
Hal is on the papers, Tony. He's a street person.
Sorry, I didn't know.
You see, you're not the only one with problems.
Be there tomorrow.
That's what makes her a bad mother, is her son, who she abandoned, who she originally, by the way, named Harpo, now called Hal, is on the pavers, which means he's homeless, and he's a street person. But she cares more about it.
How shitty she was to Bobby's kids.
Well, I think she was okay to them. I love that little trick she played with the Ouija board. She manipulated those kids into liking her. At first, she was kind of a bitch to them. But once her baby was born, she was hyper protective. You remember that scene, the playground, where the merry-go-round fucks up, or the cups or whatever, and then there's a big fight between Bobby and Paulie Gualtieri?
Yes, but still, it was always all about her. Even the baby was about her getting attention, and
yeah,
I mean that's.
She's
even though she wasn't like she was beating him or anything, but she was just a shitty mother.
Manipulative like her mother, but also full of the same amount of rage that Tony has. So she was a nice mashup of both of those people, and which, you know, makes her a terrible mother. Here's another one for Jeff. This clip comes from season 3, episode 8, The Pit, of the television show Bates Motel. Now, if you're familiar with Psycho and Norman Bates and the Psycho movie, then you know that his mother was dead, and you know she had been so horrible to him that he had created this whole world. He had murdered her, then he became the slasher that we all knew.
Spoiler alert.
From the okay. Yeah, I've only seen the one with Anne Heche. No, the original Psycho, and then there's a whole Psycho lore. You can watch the movies that have Anthony Perkins, Tony Perkins. And there's all sorts of interesting narratives that are woven throughout those 3 films. Now, the sequel to Psycho, Psycho 2 came out in the early 80s, so it was a good 20 years in between. But there was a show, and I believe it was on Fox, and it was called Bates Motel with Vera Farmiga and Freddie Highmore. It was actually a pretty well-done show. In fact, the first episode had our frequent guest friend on it, but then he died right away, which sucked, because that happens to him in a lot of shows, doesn't it, Jeff?
W. Earl Brown, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, W. Earl Brown's in this, dead.
He was a good. He deserved to die, but the character did for sure. But he was great for the little bit of time he was on there.
Yes, it was an interesting show, but the whole premise of the modernized version of this was to establish a bizarre relationship where Norman wanted to bang her, so which makes Jeff interested in this.
You were developing sexually. You're just confused. It's silly, honey.
Interesting note: Vera Farmiga also played Livia Soprano on The Many Saints of Newark.
We're just people. We're on some level like animals, instinctual. You're a man, I'm a woman, so maybe you notice my breasts once in a while. Big deal. It's freaking normal. It doesn't mean you're weird or that there's anything wrong with you.
It doesn't.
No.
Sometimes when she talks to me like that, I feel I'd like to go up there and curse her and leave her forever.
Or at least a fire. But I know I can't.
My boy's best friend is his mother. Psycho is still, to me, still holds up as a very bizarre, creepy film. I'm gonna revisit, I think, that show Bates Motel though, because there's a lot I missed. Did they ever get it on?
What was that movie? What was that movie with Anthony Perkins? It was after the Psycho comeback in the early 80s when they redid Psycho.
Yeah.
And he played a priest. It was him and Kathleen Turner played a prostitute. It was a crazy movie. That was it. Yes. I remember seeing that when I was a kid, and it was more disturbing to me than Psycho. I'd seen Psycho and I was like, oh, this is Norman Bates. And I'm like, oh, this is creepier than Norman Bates.
Yeah, it seems it. Now I'm going to watch it. I've seen this movie. I must have seen it on HBO or something, and they had to have.
I'm sure it's very freaky, and they really push the envelope of the rating system at the time. I do recall that.
When you would get the HBO guide, the first thing you'd look for are the movies that had all the little disclaimers telling you what was in them.
Mm-hmm.
Abbreviations.
So prostitution.
N or SSC, strong sexual content, and you knew you were in for a good night if you were able to make it up to 2 a.m.
N stands for nasty.
Yeah, that's what Jeff liked.
What's I?
Incest.
Illegitimate. Oh, I'm sorry.
And last but not least is a funny one on our list, and then we have some more honorable mentions that you guys can read off. But from 1987's Throw Mama from the Train, there's Anne Ramsey playing Danny DeVito's mother, Mrs. Lift, and she is speaking with Billy Crystal.
Who the hell are you?
I'm Owen's friend.
Owen doesn't have a friend.
That's because he's shy.
No, he's not. He's fat and he's stupid. Get out of my house. Where is Owen?
Owen went bowling.
I want Owen.
I'll be back in a minute.
I want my bat. I want my medicine.
I can get it for you.
Who the hell are you all of a sudden?
Let me hang it up for you.
I can hang it my own goddamn.
I know that, but I would like to hang it up for
you. Get out of my way, you black bastard.
Oh, what a great line that was.
And she gets a double mention too, though, because the mom in Goonies as well.
Right. Yeah. She led the whole thing in Goonies, right? She led the bad guy.
Gang. Yeah.
The gang.
She had her son chained up in the basement of this. Yeah. I mean, my God. Or her handicapped
go back to the
son.
zoo to get more chains.
She didn't quite have that the bad speech like she did in this, right? Because she had part of her tongue removed by the time Throw Mama from the Train was out.
Oh, and you poop.
And we didn't have a fed.
Your night was moist.
Bury him in the backyard before he starts to stink up the house.
We need to rewatch that movie. Let's put that on our rewatch list.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So we can break it down and talk about it. All right, why don't you guys read off some of the ones that I didn't mention and have clips for?
Let's see. Lily Dillon was played by Angelica Houston in The Grifters.
Yes, that was a creepy character. My favorite part is when the guy beats her up with a bag of oranges.
Yeah, it was good to know that. It was good to know that you could do that and it wouldn't leave bruises.
Right.
Yeah, that and phone books.
And she banged her son, which in this case, I could see it. Like if I was the mom and young John Cusack was my son, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
then
get
he'd
it.
lecture you about politics for an hour and a half.
I'm just going by looks.
Yes. God, the real big incest theme here. Although this is not with the mother, but this is the brother-sister one. Olivia Foxworth, as played by Louise Fletcher in Flowers in the Attic. Now, every girl that we went to high school with had this book with them at one point, because I remember seeing it. Every girl walking around with that book in their hands, that little paperback, Flowers. Who is it? V.C. Andrews, is that the name of the author?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I never saw the movie because it didn't interest me. So anybody who has, what is the plot of this film?
I've seen it.
Yeah, it was
the mom. You know, when it starts out, the mom, they live with her mother.
Yes.
And her mother is very abusive and terrible to them. And so she tells the kids, hey, this guy, he's rich, he's gonna marry me. And then we'll have like all this stuff, but the thing is you guys gotta like live in the attic until the wedding. And then after the wedding, you know, you guys can come downstairs and blah, blah, blah. But he doesn't want me to have kids. And they loved her so much. They were like, sure. Well, they didn't realize that they were really just never going to leave the attic. That's it. So like 2 of the little kids, they started getting sick. They got no sunlight. and towards the end, they figure out whenever she's really embraced this rich life of not having them and all this other shit. And so they figure out that, oh, you bitch, you're just going to let us rot up in this fucking attic. You're never going to get us out of here. Mm-hmm. And they have their revenge at the end.
Okay. But they also have sex.
Yeah. I mean, they're trapped in the attic, Tim. I mean, if you have a sister, you're trapped in the attic. What do you do? I mean, you're going to end up banging your sister probably after a while.
Maybe.
If you were 18, not now.
No, not now. Definitely not now. Pamela Voorhees, played by Betsy Palmer from 1980's Friday the 13th. Definitely a bad mom.
I mean, loving mother, Jason.
But murderous.
Yes.
Well, they weren't paying attention.
To protect her son.
Yeah.
No.
You guys weren't watching, and he drowned. So I'm going to impale you with, everything I can find.
And really, where were you at, bitch? Why weren't you watching your kid?
Well, why'd you send your kid to a camp that you don't believe in?
Yeah. And I'll let these camp counselors watch my child. Here's one. Boy, I didn't want to pull the clips from this. First of all, I couldn't find any good ones, but second of all, they're really uncomfortable. Penny, played by Janet Jackson on Good Times. Good Times, by the way, one of the best sitcoms of all time. But Penny entered the picture, and her mother was abusive. And the scene that I'm talking about is Penny is late or something, and her mom's mad, so she takes the iron to her. But Penny's mom was played by actress singer Chip Fields.
She played that role good too. Hated her guts.
Oh yeah, still hate it when you see it. You're like, oh, I can't watch. Just skip it and live with Walona.
Go home and let Joe beat you instead.
Yeah, Joe. Kathy Bates brings a very famous character to life. Although I think she's a little misunderstood and she ends up redeeming herself. But of course, talking about Mama Boucher. 1998's The Water Boy. I didn't want her son playing the foosball, but the foosball, he was able to make friends. The weird guy with the nipples, Jerry Reed. What a great movie! Very funny movie. Very funny in the theater, and continued to be funny if you watched it a million times when you were stoned in the 90s. So that one's on there. Here's one that the actress plays a mother on a show about drug dealing. And then she plays a mother on a show about drug dealing later on. The characters couldn't be more different if you tried. I'm talking about Michael Hyatt, actress. She played Brianna Barksdale on The Wire, who's D'Angelo's mother and Avon Barksdale's older sister. She was a wackadoo. I mean, she was very manipulative. She let her son go to prison to make sure that their drug empire can continue. And of course, he ended up murdered. And I believe she eventually found out he was murdered, but it doesn't matter. That character was mean.
She was ruthless.
Yeah, ruthless was the word I was looking for. But in Snowfall, she plays the mother, and she loves her child, and she's a hardworking person. And who wrote She's a Bad Mom on Snowfall too?
This most recent season she was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I agree with Jeff on that.
All right. Well, maybe I'm speaking out my ass because I'm a season behind. So let me get caught up, and maybe we'll revisit it next month.
She's a double bad mom. Yes.
Double bad. Okay, so she's double bad mom, but she's a good actress.
She is a good actress. You cannot skip over, and I saw you skipped over Marietta Fortune from Wild at Heart. You cannot ever skip over.
Oh, I did. Oh, no. Marietta Fortune, Diane Ladd playing her own daughter's mother. Her playing her real daughter's fake mother. I don't know, whatever. In the David Lynch movie Wild at Heart. Yeah, talk about Marietta Fortune stuff.
What a freaking psycho this lady was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she tried to diddle her daughter's boyfriend, and when he wouldn't have it, she set him up for murder to send him off to jail. And then when he got out, she couldn't stand it. And so she did everything she could to break them up, including getting Harry Dean Stanton, sweet little Harry Dean Stanton, murdered.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't mean for that to happen. That was like the one thing she didn't mean to happen. But she had to let it happen. But she was crazy. When you picture her with that red lipstick all over her face.
Yes.
And screaming, you wanted to fuck Lula's mama.
Yeah, it's a great impression. Diane Ladd, of course, was the original Flo, and Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. And that was a Scorsese movie that was the inspiration for TV show Alice. And then came back and played Belle for one season on Alice when Flo left. It's a strange world. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
The same actor played Mel in the movie, Dick Tayback. Anyway, Catherine O'Hara is next for her performance as Kate McAllister, the worst mother on the face of the planet who went all the way to Paris, left her son at home, or went wherever they went in the first movie.
Well,
I forget.
To be fair, she probably made it over, like England before she realized that she left him home.
His ticket fell in the trash.
Yeah,
they counted that neighbor kid.
Yes,
that was the crux.
Home Alone 1 and 2 are both really funny movies, and they hold up really well. I'm just glad they cut Trump out of the second one because it always triggered me when I saw him. I don't know if I'd ever be able to watch it again if they hadn't cut him out. Oh.
Hey, look, she was a terrible mom in Beetlejuice too. She was stepmom. She was a terrible mom. And she was a terrible mom on Schitt's Creek. She was not a good mother on there either.
So she's got the market cornered on playing bad moms in comedy.
She does.
Just to give you an idea, that they cut Trump out and they edited Kevin Spacey in.
They did.
Oh wow!
Which way is the lobby?
Follow me, little one. I'll show you where it is. When I was in that barbershop quartet in Skokie, Illinois.
Oh God! How far he fell! My God, he was so revered for House of Cards. People just loved him on that show, and then just like that, he's dead. He's dead to everyone.
He was so good in Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. That was
a bad movie, but he was great in it.
Yeah.
No, American Beauty.
Oh yes,
I love him in American Beauty, and The Ref. Oh fuck,
The Ref is a great.
Him and Judy Davis.
Yep. That was really good.
And Dennis, that's his name, Dennis Leary.
Dennis Leary.
Kaiser Soze, for God's sakes. The man has a huge body of work. We just got to forget that he raped little boys.
They weren't little boys. Anyway.
I mean, they were preteens.
No, they weren't.
Well, the one was an adolescent that he tried to carry to his bed and diddle. The kid that's on the Voyager show that you like?
Kept having memories of beautiful ladies with the head of Abraham Lincoln.
You mean that show, The Voyagers, with John Eric Hexum and?
No.
No, what's the show that he's on, you guys?
Star Trek Discovery.
Discovery, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't watch that show.
Well, he's all grossed up now.
Okay. I always confuse that guy with Alan Tudyk.
No, he doesn't have any eyebrows. That's how you know the difference. He looks like an albino.
Now, who is Monica Gallagher on Shameless? Is that Joan Cusack's character?
No, she was a bad mom too, though.
Yeah, she was kind of a terrible mom.
Monica was the mom of all the Gallagher kids that was like a drug addict and disappeared all the time and never took care of her kids.
I don't remember her from the first season. When did she show up?
She was on several seasons, but not till later on, I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah.
They
premised it with her being gone for the first couple of seasons.
For the first couple seasons.
Now, who played her?
I forget the lady's name.
Chloe Webb. Oh, she's a great actress. Yeah, Chloe Webb, of course, to me, best known for being in Sid and Nancy.
Wow, I look like Stevie fucking Nicks.
No, Nancy, I want to get off that leash.
One last time.
That movie was crazy as hell.
I know it was. It was
Gary
great.
Oldman was so good in that.
Mm-hmm. And I forget who played Johnny Rotten in that movie. Sid and Nancy. I'm going to look it up. Isn't it funny? One thing I like about the internet is I search for Chloe Webb, and then as soon as I type the S, Sid and Nancy. Gary Oldman, was Sid Vicious from the Sex Pistols. God.
Andrew Schofield.
Andrew Schofield as John. Oh, he's not even said. They don't even call him Johnny Rotten.
No.
Just John. Apparently hasn't been in an awful lot of non-American films or American films. All right. There we go. So that's our list of bad moms 2022. Bad pop culture moms. Some of the worst, even though some of them are best. So hey, I want to talk to you about Atlanta pizza in Gyro's. Gyro's good. It's lamb's meat sliced up in a pita with tzatziki sauce and lettuce and tomato and onions. Then you eat that, right? And then you get some like Greek potatoes. And you eat that, and it's tasty. And then also pizza is good because you can put pepperoni on it, cheese and sauce. So you can go to Atlanta Pizza in Euro and get both. What is it? It's a pizza place in Conyers, Georgia. We all like it. We all go there. In fact, we're going to be there the week of the 24th or whatever, because we're going to be playing team trivia that Tuesday night. So be on the lookout for that. Atlanta Pizza in Gyro is a longtime sponsor of Radio Labyrinth podcast. I don't know why I'm doing this voice, so stop me whenever you like. Thank you to Mike Hall and everyone at the restaurant. He's doing me a solid on something else. I'll tell you about that later. Has nothing to do with glory holes. See their new full-color menus with pictures of their food, which they now have at their restaurant, which is also in color. You know, some restaurants, you go into them and you're in black and white. Not Atlanta Pizza in Euro, you go in, you're still in color. It happens all the time. You go into these old diners, black and white. You don't know why. It's like you're in another dimension.
You're in Pleasantville.
Yeah, but it's not pleasant because the waitresses are demons.
I like to belly up to the table and order a nice cold bottle of their house salad dressing.
Yeah, on ice, right? Or
yeah, I just drink it right down.
Yeah,
Goes down smooth.
It's like going to Wendy's and getting a Frosty, except it's that pizza place. Every pizza place has a variation of the same dressing put on that salad. When you go to Atlanta Pizza in Euro, you're not going to get that 1.5-inch thick mushroom that they seem to just. That raw mushroom, people like to eat raw mushrooms in the salads. Make sure it's thick. And then dump 1.5 pounds of mozzarella cheese on top.
That's for me.
Yeah. Oh, you like thick carrots? It's 1.5 inches.
I like everything thick, Tim.
Yeah, thick sliced carrots, they're the best. On your salad.
And not Atlanta Pizza in Euro, though.
No, Atlanta Pizza in Euro, you get a nice salad that you can eat. Not like an animal. Here we sliced up these vegetables with a buck knife.
I only want thick things, please.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's just a section on the menu just for thick stuff.
Go in the bathroom, put your mouth in front of the hole.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
We're gearing up for a busy spring. It's the return of Team Trivia, which we already mentioned and we're going to be doing, which is on Tuesday nights. Bring your friends, enjoy the good food and great local craft beer selection at reasonable prices. Speaking of beers, they just added Line Creek Brewing's First Crush IPA on tap. 3 taverns, Rapturous Raspberry Sour Ale in cans. And Tucker Brewing's Georgia Red Lager, which is also in cans, in their craft beer lineup, just to name a few. They love serving the local community of Conyers, Covington, and East Metro Atlanta, and they thank them for their continued support. So they're thanking you, but again, you can live anywhere in the state and go there. It's not going to hurt you. Go there.
I live in West Metro Atlanta.
Yeah, and I live in Tucker.
But you don't even have to go there because he's got a food truck.
He does have a food truck.
And so you can go to other locations and have the food.
Right.
When we go to play team trivia, he's working a food truck event that night. He said he's going to be like about a mile down the road.
It's literally like right down the street. So
I think we should just set up a table with Trivial Pursuit by his food truck, and we'll just play that.
Okay. I want to win some of that bar money. Fuck that. They are open for business, dine-in and takeout, Monday through Friday, 11 to 9 p.m., Saturday, 12 to 9 p.m. Closed on Sundays. Tell them that Radio Labyrinth sent you and ask for Dustin, who may or may not be there. He won't be, but he might be. You never know.
Dustin's son will be there.
Yeah, maybe. We don't know. He might have the day off.
There.
Even when he doesn't work, he
did
sleeps
things
in
out
bed.
there.
He's on mop duty. All right.
Mike's got him shining up the hole.
I wasn't going to go.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Take this rag and go clean the hole. All right, Jeff, views or snooze time before we wrap.
Views.
Or.
Snooze.
Number 1, The Pentaveret. This is Mike Myers' new show on Netflix.
Okay.
Playing a bunch of, like Eddie Murphy's playing a bunch of different characters. And he's playing like the main guy is a reporter who thinks he's uncovered like a Illuminati body of men who have been influencing world events for centuries.
Okay.
So it's Mike Myers. He played a bunch of different characters. And then there's a few other people in it like Keegan-Michael Key and Ken Jeong.
Okay.
Jennifer Sanders. Debbie Mazur, who you used to like, Lydia West, and narrators Jeremy Irons. I think it's going to be pretty good.
And it was based on the story that he told in So I Married an Axe Murderer. The grandfather, his little conspiracy theory that he was talking about. That's the premise for this entire show.
Well, I'm a views.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm a views.
I'll abuse it.
All right, number 2, Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, Paramount Plus. I've been looking forward to this forever.
Views.
This is the new Star Trek series. It's a spin-off of Discovery. Takes place on the Enterprise in the decades prior to Kirk's arrival. And Anson Mount is Captain Pike. And Rebecca Romaine is on as number 1, and Ethan Peck is Spock. It's going to be awesome. Starts this week.
I'll give it A views, but if it ends up being shitty like Picard, I'm out.
No, it's going to be great.
Same showrunners, though. That's what worries me.
Yeah, well, what are you
Picard ended up being hot garbage. My mother hung herself and I had to watch. Oh, Q, you bastard.
It's reviews for me. And number 3, Bosch Legacy starts this week on Freevee. That's the Amazon Prime's free streaming thing. It used to be called IMDb TV. This is the sequel to the Bosch series, where Bosch is no longer a cop. He's a private detective now.
I've never watched Bosch, really. And I know it's so good.
Yeah, I didn't either.
It is. Ty Schwelliver is awesome.
Got into
I've never seen it, but I would probably like it, I'm sure. I love Titus Welliver, but so it's a snooze for me, but not because I don't want to watch it.
This would be a good time to jump in on the new, because you don't have to know much except that he's not a cop anymore.
Does his mother hang herself at the end in the atrium? You bastard.
Give him a break. His wife was killed.
7 of 9. President 7 of 9. I'm so emotional. It's funny for me to watch the Star Trek Picard and then go back and watch actual Next Generation. Picard was a dick. He didn't show no emotion. And I saw one thing they were talking about it, like the reason he had people ring his doorbell to come into his room or whatever, or his office, he would, if they rang the doorbell, he'd go, 1 moment, get his feet down, and he'd sit up prim and proper, go, come. But he was just straight into this. Oh, I'm an old man, and my mother died, and James Callis is my father who was bald in the original series, but now he has hair. And then that angry lady that everything is okay. I'm done. I wanted to like it, and there were parts of it I thought were really cool, but it was just so stupid. Like the people who wrote it never watched Star Trek in their lives ever. It seems like, or at least not that episode. But anyway. I will check out Strange New Worlds because hopefully it has some sort of swashbuckling in it. And
I might view it.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch I Love That For You?
No, I haven't watched it.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh my God. It's so fucking cringy, funny. I mean, you're just like on it.
I watched all those the episodes of the Offer. And The Offer, much like Winning Time, pisses me off in that it doesn't follow timelines and it makes great assumptions. But I found out this is based off of Al Ruddy's story, so a lot of things could have been embellished.
It's a fun show, though.
Yeah,
Oh, it is.
It reminds me of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, kind of.
Yeah.
Very similar, yeah.
Yeah, but again, it's if you know the real shit, sometimes that can be annoying. And I got to say, Dan Fogler is fantastic in it.
Oh my God. Who's the guy that plays Mario Puzo? When he's like, did you eat that ham sandwich?
I didn't know who that guy was. He was great.
Yeah, they're all great. Everybody in this show is really, really good. And I heard from, I've read a bunch of reviews of the show that it gets a little bit better as it goes on. I don't really have a problem with it other than, in the first episode, Al Ruddy goes in and wows William S. Paley, who used to be he founded CBS Television, pitches him on Hogan's Heroes. And then the next day, he's coming out of Planet of the Apes. And there's a 5-year gap in between that. So it just bothers me when stuff like that happens. But I'm a nitpicker. Still a good show. And plus, I just read the book about the making of The Godfather, so certain things don't jive, but whatever, it's still entertaining, just like Winning Time is entertaining. So I like it, and good job to Dan Fogler, even though he won't come on the show. I would love him to come back on the show.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to him about him playing that role.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and don't forget, if your mother's around, to wish her a very happy Mother's Day.
I sent my mother Pioneer Woman dishes.
Nice. She live in a log cabin?
She wants to. And she sent a text back. So my sister got a neck lift this week, and she sent us pictures of the neck lift, and my mom responded with pictures of her dishes, and she said, "I'm a Pioneer Woman now." That's all she said.
That's all it took. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, or grandma or your wife or whatever, get them Pioneer dishes. That's what Gil's gonna get his mommy for their first Mother's Day together.
Don't you dare. Caitlin ain't no Pioneer Woman.
No.
She'll throw that shit in the trash.
It could be if she wanted to be, but no.
Don't ever get your significant other anything to do with cooking or cleaning or no. Just it's a bad idea, trust me.
My mom dated a guy in the 80s who gave her a garbage can for Christmas.
Oh wow.
I gave my wife a broom, and then the next year she got the dustpan. She waited the whole year, and I was like, wait.
You get me a Roomba. I'll take a Roomba.
It's a robot.
Yeah.
Put googly eyes on it if you get it.
DJ Roomba.
All right, guys. Next week on the show, Steph's Perfect Pictures. We're going to all pick our perfect picture. And we're not talking about our school picture or anything because none of us looked good in those. Maybe Dustin did. I'm assuming that three of us did. Jeff always looked nice in his pictures. I never did. I always had
me. I always looked terrible.
Fucking grill with my rotten teeth.
I was just an eyebrow.
Yeah.
It was just an eyebrow holding a rose in every one of them.
Anyway, we're all going to pick our most perfect picture of all time and defend it. That'll be next week. Don't forget to listen to the Popcast, which is my radio show every Saturday, 6 p.m. on WSB. You can also stream it if you don't live in the market and can't get the radio station. We have an app and you can listen to it on that. And pretty soon it'll be podcast, so you'll be able to listen to it there if you're so interested. I want to wish one of our favorite radios, Jeff Lyle. I want to wish him well, get better. He's in the hospital, and hopefully he'll be fine very, very soon.
I hope he's doing well. I mean, they just got Marianne home and kind of straightened out. She's doing better since she had her leg amputated. So they've been through a lot.
Yeah, so if you're a praying person, say a prayer. You know, it doesn't hurt. Or at least think of somebody if you're not a praying person. Think of Jeff Lyle and wish him well if you're friends with him on social media like Facebook and stuff. He's a great guy and he supports us a lot. We're going to send good vibes his way.
Yeah, get well soon.
So don't go anywhere. Just sit where you are for a week until this next episode comes out. Do what you got to do, but come back next week. And until that time, please remember to
keep it canon.